It's if we're that sorry and not update Ebane say Echna Akufo-Addo, President Akufo-Addo, it will be his last day in office. He will cease to be the President of the Republic of Ghana. Echna following Echna's upcoming swearing in, Then it's a president, so he's laid down a slew of a year pardons or be pardoning. Now this pardons, basically, he apparently was set to pardon one more medi bonnet. I says I bonnet no medi I say any more fault and I say circumstances being a leader or more yes and he being as a president he wants to give them a second chance, liberation also a second chance, so that they can perhaps come back from their old ways and perhaps be a better person in society. So this morning we saw that the news flying around was that President Akufo-Addo has pardoned a lot of people, and one of them very popular has said Atu ACM. Now this guy that you see his picture on the far right of the screen, someone kai the course or no, and 4 years ago and now some 5 years ago the Bank of Ghana collapse. Most of these banks are now insolvent. I'm talking about the Unibank. I'm talking about the Beige Capital, Beige Bank. I'm talking about the Capital Banks, the GN Bank, the First Atlantic. These banks are Bank of Ghana collapse or more because they didn't have the money to keep on operating. One of them. Their leaders, Atu ACM. Atu ACM was the leader and also the CEO of Capital Bank, the now defunct Capital Bank, which was owned by Pastor Mensa Otabo, now sorry, ICGs, and even he himself. Now we saw say immediately this bank went insolvent into insolvency. Basically, at the end of the day, came to because the balance sheet was not balanced. The Bank of Ghana went further ahead to do investigation on who said Atu ACN, his ways, his leadership, and some of the decisions he took when he was the CEO, and the leader his bank, the Capital Bank, to the collapse. Now you realize say a brand semne buy, Iyoko, any other state agencies investigation on where it came to light say the board of directors of this particular insolvent bank, Capital Bank, one of the board of directors now it just say or you pay mu per year or can Pastor Mensa Otabo. But Pastor Mensa Otabo, a bright Yoko for friend, say how come he was part of the board of directors and the bank collapsed? The bank didn't have money to pay its debtors and other things. And Pastor Mensa Otabo say or no dear or your board keke. I say or just a face value, but he doesn't really participate. Into basically the economy say omu here biano akwa sign. He does not participate in the day-to-day activities. And as our case, into a reach, Iyoko for take this particular Atu ACN on MH tum MH tum no ye money bills so on tua a kana or deno somewhere in the millions of Ghana cedis ama HN chin no court eka say ne japadi o nyina yemfa ne yenton ne yemfa ensi anan and no any who say at the end of the day no ne estate ni ade no ye seize a was start say oton no person odi tua debt say one more musika kogum o musika wo Capital Bank gu o menyo musika back no. Now the Bank of Ghana was trying to sell off his properties and basically pay off the debtors. And no NNA that sorry, press release, any character and social media say this particular man Atu ACN has been pardoned by the President of the Republic of Ghana. Now when we saw this, we were like, what is really going on in this country? This is a man who has caused a lot of loss to the state because a Capital Bank bank ni eguna na ebeguno Bank of Ghana emo musika some fan shame ama all of this money at Bank of Ghana they more some fan shame trying to keep the bank afloat. They misuse the money. So why then pardon this man? Before I bet to ask, the presidents have come to react on these claims, but we share screens no so this is the apparently the letter na air flyer around it was detailing said the president has given some people pardons. Now we want you to know say it is not just a 2 ACN and it was rumor say it was pardoned. It was a fleet of people. Now check out that screen so which was dated 31st of December 2024. It reads heading here, dear Nana chairman or whatever it is. I see prerogative of mercy in accordance with Article 72 clause 1 of the Constitution. Siena, I'll say the President of the Republic of Ghana wishes to exercise his prerogative of mercy in accordance with Article 72 Clause 1 of the Constitution to pardon certain convicted persons, the persons in respect of whom the President wishes to exercise this discretion as follows. So basically, this letter which was flowing on social media, it was a letter now I say Akufo-Addo and the president what Trakoma Attorney General and I said the Supreme Court say or pardoning Akuffo based on sins be an Akuffo with the bone or pardon using Article 72 Clause 1. And also here are their names. Here are the people I want to give mercy or clemency to. Number 1, Akwesi Hassan. He was convicted of murder and sentenced to death on 19th March 1993. He has been in prison since then 31 years. He is now serving life imprisonment per presidential order. And all parties say, nipa baako di kan eye abranti bi efe na Akwesi Hassan okum nipa na okum nipa no ye jaili no for life in 1993. That's 31 years ago. Na president party say see an person heading Oman pardon. 2, Beatrice Ofori. She was convicted of human trafficking on 6 June 2023 for 8 years with hard labor. She's currently 64 years old and seriously hypertensive. This has affected both legs, leading to her inability to move freely. She spends most of her time in the prison infantry. Basically, no more person they did to also Beatrice Ofori. Now Beatrice Ofori near so human trafficking and your friend Akuffo ko ba sawo ni ade ade. Be see and see we with 64 years. You see akontimi nante or sanso hypertension. You see ano the condition na yedin te be ye kran kan fa nim brief. 3 Hana William Atu ACN the any ban. 3 William Atu ACN. He was convicted of his role in the collapse of Capital Bank and sentenced to pay 90 million Ghana cedis. He defaulted after paying part of the money. He was sentenced to 15 years in prison in December 2023. He is suffering from severe life-threatening medical conditions and has undergone multiple surgeries as a result. Now, Nipa also did to her and one bar sema as I question all of this pardon issue about William Atu and as I said, he was convicted in his role in the collapse of Capital Bank. Enuntiano you can say own 90 million and I say on facing 15 years in jail. Utues can be but when to me ain't training and yes on jail. And no and a president letter year by na chese or pardon. 4 Frank Obeng. He was convicted of manslaughter and sentenced to 40 years in prison. He is currently serving his sentence in his own prisons. His sentence is proposed to be reduced from 40 to 12 years. Yes, a brand TB, your friend Frank Obeng, yes, so kunipa and your sentencing to 40 years. See, I know, ye per se, you're reducing the sentence from 40 years to 12 years. Number 5, Stephen Nyako. He was convicted of conspiracy to rob and robbery in December 2010 and is sentenced to 30 years. He has served 22 years in total, including time spent in remand. Basically, now your parents say a brand TB. Your friend no Stephen Nyako ye chini say na opeso ko wi ade ni ade e che no and your sentencing no to 30 years be see and yes was sentencing 22 years in total because time not that remand ni ade nyina ka ho an say emran ekononim yi pa yes aso ko yenim biom de do to biom Philip Nyako. He was convicted of conspiracy to rob and robbery in December 2010 and sentenced to 30 years. He has served additional 20 years. I think we there. Your candidate. The seat one. Philip Akpena Asibi. He was sentenced to 12 years in prison in 2018 for willfully causing financial loss to the state related to his role in the National Youth Employment Program. He has served 6 years in prison. He has cleared to be released on the grounds of ill health. And a nipa odito Philip Asibi Mukai sa branch na convicted on his role in the infamous 2018 trial of the National Youth Employment Program. Of course so much loss to the state. I mean, you can say you're sentencing to 12 years in jail with the kind as 7 more 6 years. Number 7 Osman Inusa. He was convicted of conspiracy to commit robbery, even though he was not found guilty of armed robbery. A petition submitted on his behalf stated that he has mental health challenges which need to be treated and managed at home. ena the auditor so Usman Inusa and yes so no so no yesoku wi ade but hwemu yi na se papa no abodam itenye ni kan tie san fanin brief ni release no aha. Number 8 Joseph Nana Kweku Boateng. He was convicted for attempted export and possession of an narcotic substance on the 28th of May 2019 and sentenced to 15 years in jail. He has served 8 years in total, including 5 spent in remand. So basically, no be so no so night say or transporting cocaine to and fro on pebre. Aha, or no, you Joseph Nana Kweku Boateng and the HSA. You convicted way back in 2019 no na say idea na say asifim ye pa but time ye che no time of that remand na ade no you can nyina bo we 7-8 years which means say I can 7 years or no so ni din abepim e wa pardon ho. Number 9 Emmanuel Edumensa. He was convicted of possession of narcotics and sentenced to prison term of 15 years in April 2024. He's currently serving the prison term at Insawan Prison. And yes, a brand to be friend Emmanuel Edumensa or no so not transporting cocaine, hard drugs, and yeah, just sentenced to 15 years in jail. Currently, no, the sentence, no, I shall see last year, April 2024. But no, so needing a be pad. In some way, better John Amount forecast what is really going on. These are people who have been involved in criminal offenses, drug possessions, drug trafficking, human trafficking, killings, all sorts of heinous, grievous, and bad crimes. And the president all of a sudden said, "Obe pardon normal." Now hits ne start say bano and Akufo-Addo say share. Me kwa in peace oh share. We do bonia na me o de me be kan ho. Eho and a president order say release this particular press release. Press release there or the by Enunie. It is dated on the 6th of January 2025. Also for immediate release, no presidential pardons granted. The president's release or the Abane say he has not granted any presidential pardon. Or so the attention of the office to the president has been drawn to reports circulating on sections of the media suggesting that the President of the Republic of Ghana, Akufo-Addo, has granted a presidential pardon to certain individuals. We wish to categorically state that these assertions are inaccurate and no pardons have been granted by the President Akufo-Addo. The public is kindly urged to disregard these information, this contrary information, or disregard any contrary information and rely on official circumstances from the office of the presidency. This was signed by Eugene Ahin, Director of Communications, Office of the Presidency. So basically, that's exactly what is really going on. The president, no party say he has not granted any presidential pardon. So in some by and we were all like, okay, what has really happened? What is really happening? And now we are learning, say the president has not indeed granted pardon. So the big question is, why did this thing leak? And if it leaked, no, at the end of the day, which people are behind it? These are questions. Say, be beside home. It's for it be see. I be more update. A brace him.